In 7.4, we're learning about how to find the determinant of a square matrix and how to use Cramer's rule to solve a system of equations. So in 7.4.1, we're finding the determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix. So again, only a square matrix has a determinant. So here's how we find a determinant. Here's the definition. So of a 2 by 2 matrix, you can find it with this formula here, where you have these two numbers, A and D, and then subtract these two numbers, B and C. So you can see that process right here in the visual. So our study tip is the determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix is found by finding the product of the main diagonal entries and then subtracting the product of the other diagonal entries. All right, so let's try some examples. So from your homework, you're doing 1 through 10, every other odd. And here's two evens from that for examples. So for number 2, actually I'm going to keep that picture up here. We're going to use this picture as our guide. So remember, we start with A times D. There we go. A times D to get that first term. So that's 1 and the negative 4. So 1 times negative 4. And then we subtract the product of the other diagonal. So that's the B times C, or the negative 2 times the negative 3. And then we get, now we just simplify that. So I get on the first term, I get 1 times negative 4 is 4. And then subtract, and then negative 2 times negative 3 gives me a positive 6. So total, I get a negative 10. So our determinant is a real number. Determinant of a square matrix is a real number. It could be positive, negative, or 0, but it is a real number. I know we had the definition of a determinant. The symbol to mean determinant is those absolute value bars, but do notice that it can be a negative number. It's going to be a real number though. All right. Let's try the other one here. Let's start with our red pen for the diagonal. So we take the product of the diagonal. So that's negative 1/2 times negative 8/9, and subtract the product of the other diagonal, which is 2/3 times 1/4. Now I really hate dealing with big numbers. I don't like to grab a calculator. I don't have huge multiplication tables memorized, so I prefer to keep my numbers small. So looking at my first term here, I'm going to reduce my fractions and cross cancel in order to keep my numbers as small as possible. So I see the 2 and the 8 have a common factor of 2. So I can reduce that like that, and that's as far as I can go with that one. So that gives me negative 1 times negative 4/9. So that's a positive 4/9. And then my next term, the blue one, I have a common 2. So I can cancel those, and I get a 1 and a 2, and now I have 1/3 times 1/2, which gives me 1/6. All right, I can't combine those fractions by subtracting them. I'll have to get a common denominator. Let's use 18. So I'll multiply this by 2 over 2 to get 8 over 18, and this one by 3 over 3 to get 3 over 18, which gives me 5/18 is the determinant for that one. And that is 7.4.1.